And there wasn't a window he could jump out of. Like, I sat there and tried to jump out of every window.
He was saving.
I have no idea where he
Maybe
went.
he just logged out.
That might have been it.
I think your character still stays there for a while if you log.
I don't know. Maybe. I have no idea where he went. I'm gonna go grab my character.
Magical.
You're still not back. Okay, so we're live now. Chuck, you're gonna need to move closer to the table.
You need to lean in.
He's just like Ron Burgundy.
Yeah.
Or wait, no, it's another little favorite from the NASCAR one. He's Ricky Bobby. I don't know what to do with my hands.
So
no.
just for anybody that may happen upon this and possibly view the first 10 minutes of it, we've got a Numenera campaign going, and we've got the basically I'm running a hodgepodge kind of sort of Devil's Spine published mixed with Iron Gods from Hazo and kind of just freelancing a fair amount of it. But some of the core principles are still kind of there, but I'm kind of melding them into an overall story arc of my own. So that's kind of what we've got going on. It's Numenera, if you haven't heard of it. It's a system where the game master, I actually don't roll any dice. I'm just going to tell the story. All of the consequences that need dice rolls, the players do, and they tap into their abilities to enhance their chances of success or failure. But by doing so, they are actually using up some of their health. So far in the story, our adventurous party woke up in a state of sorts with no memory of their past and something attached to their spine. Through various explorations and investigations, they determined that it was some sort of advanced or alien type life form. The premise for Numenera is that it's the Earth a billion years from now. So it's actually an indigenous creature, but it would be extremely alien to our thought process of what a natural creature is on Earth. And that basically if they don't get it removed, it will more or less devour their body in the course of about 2 to 3 months, depending on their individual constitutions. One advantage right now, though, is that it has enhanced them and has given them a little bit extra boost of speed and strength. So they've kind of their might, which is basically a strength stat. So right now they're gaining a little bit of a benefit, but that's going to go away as it continues to eat away at them. They did find the mother of these things, and she agreed that she would remove that if they got the proper supplies for doing so, and would eliminate an enemy of hers. They have proceeded and eliminated the enemy. They have procured one of the items that they needed. Well, the third thing was actually getting the enemy. So they've got one more thing that they need to get, which is known as the Impossible Blade. And the last information that they have is that it was thought to be in the area around a city named Torch, which is where the party's headed right now. One party member consumed, actually intentionally, a neurotoxin.
Who did that?
And is currently unconscious and in a bad way, but the party had a stasis field generator that they zapped him with and put him in a stasis field to try to keep him alive until they can get to Torch. With that, why don't we'll go around the table and let everybody introduce their characters and give what little background you actually know about your character at this point. Chuck, we'll start with you.
Alright, so far my character is named Fred/Crom. From! I combine the two. Fred is weak and cowardly.
You didn't say his full name, though.
Oh, Crown the Warrior King.
Yes, there you go.
That's his full name. Fred is weak and scared of everything at the moment. He doesn't know why yet. Crom is there to protect him. He is a Valkyrian glaive weapon master. And that's literally all I know about mine, because I haven't spent that much to research him.
Well,
I am Gavin, the gregarious glaive who leads. All Gavin does and all Gavin cares about is talking to people.
That is a true statement.
Yeah, he woke up, doesn't really care why he's here. He's just gonna figure it out as he goes. By talking to people.
My character is Liza. She's a nano. She's part human and part hodgepodge put together pieces of metal at the moment. And she's basically a scavenger who's a little kind of crazy and just really likes adventure. Sort of gets in the way a lot.
My character's Takiva. She's a mutant who basically transforms her skin into energy. And about the only thing she really knows is that she does not like needles a lot.
And that's one of the things she knows.
She also is very much so infatuated with good old Gavin over
Good
here.
old Gavin.
My character is Julissa. She's a graceful jack who exists partially out of phase, so she enjoys walking through walls. And she doesn't really know much about herself at all.
That's true.
Yeah.
My character is Renarin, goes by Ren. I'm a hideous seeker who abuses alchemy. I think I've spent the most XP to know about my character. My character's consciousness was stored from a previous age and has been transmitted into a body in this age to try to prevent something terrible from happening. We don't really know what yet. So, but he's got a really bad drug problem.
Yeah,
He abuses alchemy
he
part.
abuses alchemy. He's a drug addict, and he uses the drugs to enhance his abilities, but that has a rather nasty side effect in that he is addicted to them.
I can't not picture that GIF now, though, that you sent.
One thing with the Numenera rule set is as experience is awarded, the players can actually spend it. And in doing so, they can gain certain benefits. They can be permanent, they can be temporary, and we kind of incorporated that into how we're developing the character backgrounds. They started off not remembering who they were. They can spend experience to remember part of their past, which then has a permanent effect on some of their capabilities, whether or not they have an advantage on certain type of roles and that type of thing. So, and that's what they're talking about I haven't spent experience yet to pick up my background. Some things I will reveal to them as we go, just because fun thing about Numenera is I get to do what's called a GM intrusion. Right smack dab in the middle of the game, I go surprise at the party, and something comes up that none of them expected. So, and we'll get some reveals that way as we go through the campaign. All right, last we left off, you had just defeated the choir, or at least set it back significantly, and you had acquired one of the components that you need to have these creatures removed from your spines.
We got two of them, right?
To
Two pieces. We got the neurotoxin, which was in the sea, and then
Yes.
we got the...
you were supposed to stop the choir.
Oh, okay, that was
You
it.
had to
Okay.
get
That's
neurotoxin, eliminate the impossible blade, and eliminate the choir.
I made
So we
it
have
think
2
about
out of
it.
3.
Yeah.
So you've got 2 out of
That's
3,
what I thought.
but it's one ingredient, and you've accomplished one
For
task.
some reason, I thought there were 3 ingredients.
Wrong
Gavin will Google knowledge. He just talks.
Yeah, that's right. Wrong campaign.
Wrong campaign.
We'll get to that one in a couple of weeks. You were in the process of leaving the needle. You had just shoved Gavin out the window about 800 feet up.
Oh, that was
Oh, that's right. Crom had shoved
was
Crom
Crom.
out the window.
Gundart. Gavin. Ren.
Too many names to keep track of.
We're gonna have to come up with a system of
Yeah, what
names
name is this
for-
and
for
whose
people.
name's
Hello, my name is.
Yeah.
And we're heading down through there to grab him and start heading to the needle.
Yeah,
So
he's one
we-
of 3 people that we have in stasis right now.
Well, actually, you've only got him in stasis
Nice.
because we hadn't actually gotten to that point. But as you are descending the needle, you get to the point to where you had left the creature that you had zapped on your way up.
The human?
Yes,
Or what we thought was
that
a human?
had the strange device that
I
wasn't
thought he
moving,
was
so you
carrying
zapped
that
him.
person with them at all times.
No, we dropped
No.
him off at the stairs.
Not the one that was stuck in the glue. You left them off at the stairs a little bit lower than this guy.
Right.
This was a potential enemy that you had zapped with the stasis field.
He wasn't wiggling, so it zapped him.
Right. As you're coming down, you realize he is no longer in the stasis field.
He's no longer there.
But he doesn't seem to be responding to any outside stimuli. Because if you remember, when you disconnected the transmitter and the needle, all of the choir creatures went dormant.
Right.
So he seems to not be. He seems to just be standing there and not even responding.
You said he had a device on him?
Well, it's kind of like her. It's
Oh,
like
okay.
attached to his arm. It's part of his arm.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna talk to him as we're walking down. I mean, if he's not like responding, I'm just gonna, hello.
Okay.
I'm just like slinking on the wall.
There is no slinking.
Okay, so you continue down, you get past the stairs, and you get to where the guy was that was in the glue,
Mhm.
and he is no longer in the stasis field.
But still on the glue.
But still in the glue, and he's sitting there going, "Don't leave me! Don't leave me!"
I'm gonna pull out my sword. I can get you out.
Okay,
And I'm gonna attempt to get him out.
alright, give me a roll.
8.
8.
8.
You're working on getting it out, and you're trimming off some stuff, and you kind of get the sword, and you start to wedge it in, and all of a sudden, he coughs up blood. And stops breathing.
You hit a nerve.
I don't think that's what causes that.
I don't have a first aid kit either.
I don't either.
I don't have any kind of. Does anybody have anything? The glue seems to have been hurting him.
The glue.
I don't think you did the carving right there, yeah.
I still have the first aid kit that we got from the whatchamacallit
It takes
place.
practice. Is he? I mean, is he dead, or is he just coughing up?
He's kind of coughing, looks like he can't breathe because his lungs are apparently filling up with blood.
Gotcha. You mind helping me out, Tequila?
He's starting to go a little bit slack, and
I'll see if I can help Gavin out.
okay, what are you trying to do?
What do you want me to do?
We gotta get him out. We gotta get him
Alright,
help.
we're gonna get him out.
How?
I don't know, because I gave away my only dagger, so.
I have that dagger. Since it's a little more finessey than that sword, I'll try to continue to cut away the glue.
Okay.
It's a 13.
Alright, you managed to chip away and get the glue off. At least enough to where you can find the wound.
Right.
And yeah, your sword kind of
The glue.
pierced between two ribs. I
I thought the third time would be the charm.
charm.
I thought the third time I'd be able to get it right. I should have been practiced in that at least.
Right.
Are we able to get him healed up?
What have you got to try to heal him?
I've got the
Yeah,
med
something.
kit thing that we got from the mansion that we woke up in.
Okay. Use your med kit.
Yeah, I don't really know how, but yeah.
Okay. All right. You managed to stabilize him.
I've used him a few times. I know how to do it.
Yeah.
I gave mine up.
It's got some gels and stuff put on the wound, and it kind of initiates some rapid healing and some nanites that do some healing. And
Futuristic stuff.
yeah, exactly. Billion years in the future type
Because we
stuff.
live in the future.
And you managed to stabilize him, and he even revives. He looks a little weak. Kind of looks at Gavin.
I tried.
He's like, "Can someone else get the rest of this stuff off of me, please?"
I assume he's still maybe working on it. You know.
I actually presume so.
As I finish cutting off the rest of the glue, I kind of just shoulder nudge him as I go. I'm like, come on.